All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to talk about something fascinating and honestly, maybe a little uncomfortable for some of us. It's called the nice person trap, and it explores this wild idea that your kindness might actually be holding you back.
So I want to start by asking you a question, and I want you to be really honest with yourself for a second. Is being nice actually working for you? I mean, is it getting you the kinds of relationships and connections that you really want?
You know, the idea we're digging into today makes a pretty bold claim. It basically says that being the nice person is, and I quote, actually killing your attraction. Whoa, that's a powerful statement, right? And it's the core idea we're going to unpack together.
So let's officially call this what it is, the nice person trap. And what we're really doing here is challenging a belief that, let's be real, most of us were taught our entire lives, that being nice is the best way to get people to like you.
I mean, think about it. We operate on this assumption that if you're polite, if you're always available when someone needs you, if you're super understanding, that these qualities make you valuable to other people. On the surface, it sounds like a perfect recipe for connection, doesn't it?
But here's the pivot. Here's the big question. What if that whole assumption is just wrong? What if focusing on being so agreeable, so accessible, is actually having the exact opposite effect you're hoping for?
So if it's not working, why isn't it working? Well, this is where we get into the unintended consequences. Turns out being too nice can make you come across as predictable, safe, and, well, low stakes.
So you're out there being polite and available because you think it makes you valuable, right? You think it makes you a catch. But here's the twist. In reality, it just makes you predictable. If someone always knows how you'll react, that you'll always say yes, that you'll always be there, where's the intrigue? Where's the spark in that?
And that predictability makes you seem safe. Now, look, safe is a great thing in many parts of life, but when you're trying to spark attraction, it can be a total buzzkill. When there's no risk, no challenge, no reason for the other person to emotionally invest, the whole dynamic just becomes low stakes. And you can't build that deep, compelling attraction from a low-stakes place. It just doesn't happen.
Okay, so if being the chronically nice person is the trap, how in the world do you get out? Well, this brings us to the solution. And the answer is not to become a jerk, not at all. It's about a fundamental shift in your mindset, from being soft to being warm.
This is the key. This is the whole game plan. The goal is to change your internal posture, to move from this archetype we're calling soft to a much more powerful one we're calling warm.
So what do we even mean by soft? Well, it isn't just about being kind. It's defined by being easily hurt, where your emotional state is totally dependent on other people's approval. And, of course, it means being overly available, which is the heart of the trap we've been talking about.
And you can really see the contrast right here. The soft person is easily hurt and overly available. But look at the warm archetype. They're grounded and they're responsive. See the difference? It's a huge shift from needing validation to having your own internal strength.
Let's dig into what being warm really means. A warm person is grounded. Their sense of self-worth isn't going to get shattered by someone else's opinion. And here's the key. They aren't always available. They're responsive. This means they choose when and how to engage. They're acting from a place of strength and personal choice, not from a place of neediness or a desperate desire to please. It's authentic kindness, not just performative niceness.
So that shift from soft to warm is the absolute game changer. It's the foundation of this whole thing. But the source material hints that there's one more piece to this puzzle, a little something extra to really tie it all together.
And that final piece that puts it all into perspective is something called the 30% rule.
Which of course leads to the big question. What on earth is the 30% rule? And this is where it gets really interesting. The source doesn't actually define it, and maybe that's the whole point. True attraction isn't about following some strict formula. It's about not giving everything away all at once. It's about maintaining a part of yourself that invites curiosity. So maybe the 30% rule is just a reminder to always hold something back, to be warm and responsive, but never, ever fully predictable. It's a challenge, really, a challenge to create your own mystery.